Hello, everybody. Welcome to Old Gray Bricks. It is Monday. I almost said Thursday. I don't know what day it is. I had a staff meeting that went all day today, so that's my day.
But unless you have a 14-hour staff meeting, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not on the phone with somebody. I was not in my house, so you can't.
Well,
he was on a staff meeting on his day off.
Ooh.
No,
That's
I had to work from 2 to 6 on my day off. But yes.
No, I thought Chris has Mondays off. Is that wrong?
No, I have Fridays off.
Fridays.
Oh,
Fridays off. Oh, hello, Luis. How are you,
Luis?
We need to get you on the show. Although I want you on the show, I'm not sure I can look you in the eye after this episode.
What are you talking about?
It wasn't Lewis that you can't look in the eye.
Oh, that's true. Alex
is in the Speedo, and he looked dang good.
Yeah. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
This was the episode with crossover appeal to both, the LGBT community and the straight community.
Matthew, you referred to that as the bear picture?
Yeah.
I think that's what you referred to it as.
That's my Beach Bear week. That's my
Beach Bear. There we go.
Yeah, absolutely. I was absolutely dying at the picture where he's got like the popsicle and he's sitting there, and I literally was like laughing out loud at my house. I'm like, that's fantastic. That's hilarious.
It was a very interesting episode for sure. So we have special guests with us today. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Let me go through the chat. Stever is here. Battery Powered Bricks is here. Brick Jedi is here. Aubrey, hello, Aubrey. How are you? And Lewis is here. That's awesome. And Boone is here. So we do have a special guest, Boone, here with us, live from an undisclosed bunker somewhere in the world. Thank you for joining us today.
It is incredibly late here. But I've been wanting to join, wanting to come back on Old Gray Bricks for many, many months. And so tonight I'm powering through, and we're going to make it happen.
We are grateful. We are grateful for you joining us with your stories today. So that's awesome. And that's amazing. Thank you. But our super special guest is Miss Emilee. Hello, Emilee. How are you?
I think Boone is a far more special guest.
No. Because we are pulling for your team. We have been excited for you guys, and you are our special guest. And we are excited for it. So we are going to get to that in a second. So we are talking tonight about episode 7, right? Episode 7 of Lego Masters Season 4. The bag. So the fashion bag and everything, which was quite an interesting challenge and everything like that. So we're going to get to that in just a second. But Emilee, since you're here with us, can you give us a quick your Lego story and how you got on the show? Can you do that really quick?
Yeah, I can do that fast. So I started Lego because my husband was a travel nurse and I was moving around with my kids and I needed something to do in the car. We were building Lego and it was impossible. So I created this little tray for children to drive. And then I was like, I need to get into Lego. And my marketer said, you need to create a Instagram for your thing. So I slowly did. And then I was like, these are my people. Like, I just fell in love with the community. So I started building sets. And then I was like, okay, this is like super expensive. So I was like, maybe I can take this set and make something different out of it. And that's slowly how I started mock building. I built my first mock in March of 2021. And then I just went from there, just practicing, trying new things. I like to build like big sculpture builds. And then they reached out to me and I interviewed with a couple other people. And ultimately they decided Kelly and I would be a good fit. And I adore her and she's a fabulous builder. And I really enjoyed doing it with her. So that is like my Lego to Lego Masters journey.
All right, good deal. So, we asked you before the show, but you can tell us, are you getting recognized in public? Is the public all like, oh, I know you from Lego Masters?
If I go to the Lego store in a pink shirt with a lot of makeup on and my hair done, then yes. If I go to the Lego store in a black shirt with no makeup on and my slippers, which is usually how I go, then no.
Wait. Do you go to Walmart in pajamas and a coat? Are you that kind of person?
I am 100. You could probably find me multiple times on the people of Walmart. I am trash bazoom. I am dumpster fire trash, and it's fine. The show makes me look so put together because Kelly is so put together, and they like our teams to look combined. So they're like, we have got to make Emilee less of a dumpster fire.
So does that make you wish Kelly?
100%.
Okay. We got there we go.
Well, knowing that we know that the filming is down here in Atlanta, fit right in. You're good.
I fit with the people of Atlanta too. Then people of Walmart, people of Atlanta. What's the difference? I guess.
Oddly, there's a strong correlation there. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. There you go. That you called out. Yes, you are an amazing mock builder.
Thanks,
and everything.
Robert.
So cool. You know, we're excited that you're on the show. We're excited to be pulling for you. You guys were kind of the secret, like, oh, hey, those are good. That's a great team. So we have been pulling for you guys. So
as a matter of fact, Chris and I had a secret, or a private chat at one point in time, and talking about the season. I'm like, Kelly and Emilee. And I said it. I said, that's one of my top 3 teams right there from the get-go. Before I even know anything about anybody else, I have high hopes for this team. Now,
you're very nice. Ever since our topless boat party, we redeemed ourselves. But who doesn't love a topless boat party? That sounds more fun anyway.
Well, I have thoughts on things, but we will talk about that at a later time.
I can't wait.
Yes.
All right. So here's the deal. Emilee warned us early on when I talked to her about being on the show. She's like, I don't know if I can keep any secrets.
I have been in trouble a few times, so I am going to be very good about what I say, and I have Lewis ready to text me if I get off track.
All right, we will go back and edit. We can always edit things out, and so we can zap things out. You might even get a PG-13 if we need to give you a timeout. Okay, so
okay, good.
All right,
thank you.
So we're here for you. We are not going to cause you to stumble, but if you do, we'll laugh really hard. So anyway, that's what we're here for. All right, so let's talk about the show, the fashion show, the fashion bag, and everything. Panelists, what did you think of the episode? Was it one of your better ones, funner? Like, because I really like the last couple. What did you think about this one?
Definitely better in that there was more interaction with everybody. You saw more of their builds. We're down to like 6 now. Well, I guess 5 at the end of this episode. By the way, 20% Canadian content now. Just saying. But yeah, it was good to see more of the builds, for sure. So
yeah, there you go.
That's definitely because we are down to fewer teams, so there is more stream time to show all the builds. Which it's always like once we get past the 50% mark is when I become more invested in the show. Not to say that I don't enjoy the show in the first 50%, but we get to see more of the builds, and we've beaten that dead horse. That's what we're really here for. So,
right. So I will say that I don't generally watch a lot of reality TV, but the one reality TV show I watched every single episode was Project Runway. So I love this episode. In fact, I think there was definitely a few wink, wink, nod, nod to the fact that there was this prior show, a fashion show, and they had to do shoots and stuff like that. And I thought that was a lot of fun. And one of the things that we're starting to see at some Lego conventions is people who are doing wearable Lego. And so I think this isn't a completely artificial thing. Like when they did the episodes where they blow stuff up, and that's not something that most of us do, right? We don't build something and then blow it up or have pyrotechnics, but wearable Lego is an emerging subgenre. And I like the fact that they brought that in and used that in a contest. And, I thought in particular, Sam's, the flexible where they use the sort of macaroni style so that the bag actually could sort of flex as you picked it up. It's really hard to build Lego that flexes or, that you could wear. And, technically I think in terms of the pliability, they did the best job of creating something that was pliable. So I liked it a lot.
Yep.
And without the fishing net pieces, the 10x10 nets, I'm assuming there were none of those in the brick pit.
I was going to ask that. Were the fishnet the old school like 10x10 like trolley nets, were they in there, or can you may not can say? So
I'm gonna say no, because I think we would have used them. They also didn't have the capes that Aaron and Liz used on their thing. I think we had them, and I maybe think they pulled them out because they didn't want real fabric. Because then someone literally could have just done those all over a bag, right?
I did see some string though. I saw that there were some string elements.
No, we have some braided string across ours for some detailing. So they did have the string, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the other thing we love to speculate on is what the actual brief was for the and what they were judging by. It was, to a wearable bag. I can't decide. Was there, and you might can say, because I can't decide if there was an extra little, like you got to put a piece of bling on it or your logo or something on it. But it seemed like that was kind of part of the challenge that may not have gotten said. Did you guys notice anything like that? Or
so I was going to make it as when we go through it. So like Christopher, they did a great job of giving a very Gucci Donna Karan vibe to their bag, but Emilee and Kelly, they actually had a I'm trying to think of the actual word I'm thinking of, but a trinket. They actually had a hanging trinket, and that I thought was probably the one addition that everybody should have had, that because my wife, who has her purses, she doesn't buy lots of purses, but she buys a different trinket for every season. And so I thought that was the nice little touch that added on to their bag.
So there was definitely
there wasn't like a challenge that you had to have a tag. I just think, Christopher's like, my mom's bags always have a logo. And then me and Kelly, obviously being women, knew that logos were like a big thing. Tassels on bags are a big thing. So I think Lewis and Alex have a little logo on theirs as well. I think we all went with our team first names. So ours was K and then an E. Lewis and Alex had an LA. So I think that was not one of the requirements. Obviously, I can't get into all their requirements, but if you look at are things that they do all have one thing in common that was a requirement. So
shoulder
in one way or another.
Yeah. What? Say that again.
Every bag has one of them in one way or another.
Okay. All right. Good deal. All right. Good deal. So strap. Yeah.
Strap.
Yeah. Strap. So I guess it's hard to tell whether the strap had to pick the item up or not, but I don't know. So we don't have those requirements. You don't have to divulge those if you don't feel comfortable doing that and everything. So it's just speculation on our part.
They did say the number one thing that was said was that it needs to be high fashion. Think Vogue. Don't think Target. Was, I think, the exact words that were used.
All right. So Groovy Bone says the strap and opening bag requirements. There we go. Okay. Scrapped in the edit.
That just gives away all the secrets.
Yeah. He doesn't care.
And I would say that if you follow, Brickmaster Amy on Instagram, she's quite fashionable. And so as a judge, I don't know how much Jamie follows fashion, but it's very clear that Amy is very fashion conscious, and she posts great pictures of herself when she's traveling around and what she's wearing. So I would have actually been a little bit intimidated if she were judging me, because I would say she knows her stuff when it comes to that area.
This is true. And this is coming from the guy from Alabama. Target is high fashion in Atlanta. You don't know.
That's funny. That's really funny.
All right. So let's just say it had to open and the strap and open. Okay. So, but to me, those are important things I would have loved to have known and appreciated about the builds. That helps us understand the judging a little bit. That helps us understand the skill you guys put in the bag. So us as adult fans of Lego, we want to hear these things. So this is my complaint for the show and production. I want to hear this stuff. If the challenge is to a bag that has to open and all that kind of stuff, that explains the way the bags turn out a little bit more and helps me understand the process of the build. So I want to hear those things because I want to know how hard the challenge was because it's difficult, and how you guys solved the problem is what entertains me.
At the same time, that could take away from the audience, like the anticipation of who's going to go and who's not, right?
Yeah,
if you know
true.
all the rules ahead of time, like as the
I get
audience.
what you're saying. I
Also,
get that.
But
not
sports,
for you.
but sports ball fans know what the rules are, and their games seem to be very popular. So
Speaking of, no, I'm not even going to go there until we get to the beach scene. I was going to say,
Oh my
speaking of
gosh.
SeaWorld.
Sports ball matches don't have a different set of rules for each.
For each game.
for each
Right.
game, true.
I'm
Again,
going to say, if you watch NFL playoff games, they definitely have different rules for each NFL.
That-
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
that's
that's a big if in this crowd, I think. For the most
all
part.
right. So let's go to the builds. And you know what's funny is now we're getting less and less, so we can spend more time on them. And we are getting more invested in the contestants. We are, it is a big deal when they go home and everything like that. So, all right. So let me share this here. All right. And the first bag is from Christopher and Christopher and Robert. Their fall bag here.
so I'd like to point out first and foremost, before we get any further, that the placard picture did not have the names or the build name for any of the contestants in this episode.
Well, this one is called The Leaf, LEEGH, something like crazy. That's The Leaf. That is like, I can't remember exactly how he spelled it, but it wasn't LEAF.
Classic.
Also could be Canadian content, just saying.
And like,
Yes.
how cute was Christopher to talk about his mom? That's the Christopher I know well. And it was like, honestly, I cried listening to him in real life. And then I cried again. It was very tender.
Okay, Emilee, can I just say that I know that's very touching. I mean, how hard is it to make you cry in just any time?
It's not. Okay, it's not. I know. It's not. I do cry a lot.
On a scale of one Folgers commercial to 10, how many Folgers?
Every Folgers commercial and the Budweiser ones with the horse. Every single time.
Oh, wait. Do y'all have Publix where you live? Have you ever seen a Christmas or a Thanksgiving Publix commercial?
Oh yeah,
I have not.
that's
Oh my goodness gracious! All right, so there's several. Oh, there it is. The leaf with umlauts. I love it.
There you go. So funny enough, when we got the challenge, I leaned over to Kelly and I was like, well, we have an advantage here. Like, we know what a purse is like. And I'm like, I think Christopher and Robert are going to struggle. Okay.
So
I won.
I will say that I love the color of this one, but I will say it doesn't really look like a purse or a leaf. It's sort of in between. But the color palette is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the point, is like, it's not too on the nose, but on the nose enough that like you would see this at Paris Fashion Week. You actually, like, honestly, when they were building it at first, I'm like, oh my gosh, Kelly, they're building a leaf. Like, it looks just like a maple tree. Like, it is not going to be effective. I was so rude about what they were doing. And now look at this. Like, look at like the crop, like how they use the dots and angle them on top to like give it that textured leather look up there.
Yeah, look at the minifig. I didn't notice the minifig legs
How
right
did you
here.
not notice the minifig legs? No,
It's amazing.
Oh
the
yeah.
minifig legs was like the first thing that I saw, and I was like, that's an excellent NPU. I mean, and Jamie said it perfectly that they used so much NPU on this entire thing. I mean, the fact that you don't even think about those things, that the roller skate and the eyeglass or the binoculars, they gave the pattern to give that very Gucci vibe off of this. And Matthew, I totally disagree with you on the fact that it looks like a maple leaf with a purse, because that was. I mean, if you watch some of the weird avant-garde fashion show design things, it's totally on the nose.
I've watched a ton of those, but I'm just saying,
you're watching the wrong ones. I mean,
I'm a Yankee. I know what a maple leaf looks like, and that's not a maple leaf.
I'm
but
Canadian, and it's close enough.
it gives a fall impression perfectly.
There you go.
Again, and they said it themselves that they're not used to building mocks, and again, they're still killing it all through the season.
Yeah, they are.
Just out of sheer raw talent again. So
I mean, Christopher has built 8,000 Lego sets, and Christopher's scary, so Robert builds well.
That's awesome.
The only thing, okay, I'm going to pull a Sam right here, you guys. I never give critique. The only thing I did not love about this is the little gold swirlies around the top maple. I wish those were gone. I think it would look cleaner without those gold swirlies. Other than that, I think this bag is flawless.
Now, Emilee, what if they had actually done the swirls even on the top point too? Because my contention is it was almost like they should have used it on on all of them or none of them.
Yeah, maybe. I just think it takes away from that like rougher edge. It does round it out a little bit. Like in this picture, it helps round. I don't know. I really don't have anything negative, but if I were to say, I would say they could have done away with those gold pieces. Other than that, I love the color on color that's so just barely a different color, that it's not so standout that it's like an eyesore. And the dark red on dark red dot, whatever square things, tiles that's unbelievable to me. That stamped leather, that stamped leather you see, it's really, it's so great.
What's the thin yellow line on the outsides of the side of the leaf?
I cannot figure that. It's gotta be angled bricks from the back.
Go back
because I feel like that is super effective, especially because of the color of their clothing in those photos. And so I almost wonder, obviously, like I wasn't there, I wasn't in these guys' heads, but I wonder if like they executed that well and then needed something on that top part part of the leaf.
Yeah, I
that's
agree.
gotta be just angled plates, right?
It's like it's knotted in tiles and
it's just
rounded
like
plates.
you guys, that's so good. I can't. I want to cry looking at it again right now. Like it's so good. And they're so cute. Look at them.
Yeah, and I agree with you. We touched on that it was kind of cool that Christopher came out of his little TV persona, that he was kind of for real and kind of got to meet that guy, and I think that made it even better. So, all right, next, and the fashion. Tell us about the fashion photo shoot. How did that work? These guys went ahead and did both of them. So
yeah. So we picked a model, and then they had a bunch of clothes for us to pick through, and you had to you were the one in charge of picking your clothes, what you were going to wear, how you were going to be. And then me and Kelly didn't really realize that Will was supposed to be helping me. And I kept saying, Kelly, eyes on me. Don't look at Will. He's trying to distract you. Just do what I say. And then after they were like, Emilee, Will's supposed to participate in this. And I was like, so then I was like, sorry, Will, because I literally told Kelly to not look at him.
All right. Well, that's cool. All right. So the next one, this is great. And this is fantastic. This was the spoiler alert, the winner of the episode. And so I think we all kind of knew it when they showed it. And anyway, so the next one here.
One question that I have is in the photo shoot, I would say all of the pictures turned out great. I thought every team had some great shots. Mm-hmm. I've worked with politicians who had to shoot a TV commercial, and he had never appeared on camera, and it took all day to shoot a 30-second ad. So I'm sitting there going, the final pictures are fantastic. I wonder how long every team had to pose and pose again.
We did not have long.
Is that right? Okay, so that's
we did not have long to pick our outfits, to take the picture, to do the behind the scenes stuff. It was not long.
Cool. Well, they turned out great.
I think so too. I love all of them, especially Kelly. She looks so hot. Ridiculous.
All right, let's go to the next one. This is from Allison and Melanie. This is their beach sunrise sunset bag with wheels. Here, what do you guys think about this?
I felt for them at the pivot, because it was the writing on the wall, call it editing, whatever. But it was like, oh no, here's another team that we enjoy watching that is having a bad pivot moment, and they're going to run out of time. And but that being said, adding the wheels, making it a versatile, you could take the strap and use it as a pole was a great little gimmick. I think Amy said it best. If they had done something to round out the edges and not be boxy, they wouldn't have got sent home. I still think their idea was good, but it was still too boxy. But again, that was time. It hurt. It hurt to watch.
Yeah. When we got the picture of them midway through and it was a box, I said, I think they're in a lot of trouble because it was just so rectangular looking. And I do think the wheels were kind of hilarious, but it also made me think it's a tractor trailer.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's the engine? Where's the front part?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was a kid, my brother took 2 roller skates and he made an 8-wheeler skateboard out of it. He nailed them to a piece of wood, like a wood box. And unfortunately, I'm like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of that. And I don't mean that bad. It was a fun time for us all. I got scars to prove it. But anyway, but the one thing I did like is the sunrise and the sunset that they did, because the other side has the colors of the sunset and it looked really nice. So that was a pretty neat.
I'll say I was surprised by this because Allison is so good at rounded shapes. So maybe the judges had seen that enough times for her and they had mentioned that. And so maybe she was like, because they could have done like a big cat, like a cat bag even, or like a hamster, because bag doesn't have to look just like a bag. They could have done something with that. I think the wheels
sometimes bags look like a maple leaf.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, and they were told, your build is small. And so I think for them, they just were like, we have got to go massive and I don't care how we get there. And then they realized, okay, this isn't going to work. So unfortunately, that's. But Melanie's adorable. Look at her. She looks so cute. Like you can't not love her in that picture. She looks so cute.
It's very good. And I don't think it helps the bag that there's a cooler there.
Exactly. I would have removed that if I was the director. I would have said, we're not going to put the cooler in there because we already have one.
Right. So, but anyway, now understand our criticism are from behind the scenes and we were not there. We were not having to do this large of a build in 10 hours. So kudos to them for producing this, even with a pivot. So anyway, all right, let's move on to the next bag here. All right. So this is from Luis and Alex, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
All right. What do you guys think?
Spot on for the color and the texture. I thought that was an excellent. Total felt like a Texas skier, just as much day glow as you could slather on them. So that had a very Miami feel to it. The strap I thought was great.
It's made out of tank tread. Look at there.
Yeah, they did tank treads for it. Again, I think they ran into that hiccup of it being able to actually be worn. So if that had been a true requirement, it would have been even more devastating, and they might have gone home if they had to show it being worn. So
I love that it has like the same color on same color pattern. It's very chic. It's very Miami vibes. I love that there's texture to it. Ultimately, this was like a really ambitious design to go with a triangle, and the hope was that it would kind of like open it, like open at the bottom from here, so almost like this. Is this doing it? So like, and then when you lifted it, it would like open. And they had a really cool. I mean, they had so many ball joints, and like every piece of that thing was moving. And unfortunately, they just couldn't attach them all at the end. But I still think it's a really cool bag. I would wear this. So.
And the fact that the challenge says you gotta see it, this is when I'm finding out the challenge is that you gotta open it and all this kind of stuff makes this design even harder to pull off. And the challenges there. So
So one of the things to say about their photo shoot is I appreciated how much is it Alex that was in the model. He leaned into it and just had fun with it.
It was amazing. It was.
I would guess that he was probably the most uncomfortable of the photo of the models, but he owned it and it was hilarious. I mean, he could have been like, I don't really want to, do this, but he owned it. So tip of the hat. Yeah, I was amused, and I'm assuming that the rest of the nation was amused as well. So.
Yeah, it did open. I mean, they could open that top section. I think ultimately Alex and Lewis, their personality have not been able to like fully come. Alex, you guessed correctly. They were my favorites to hang out with. I loved being with them. We had a great time. They are hilarious, both of them. And so this was Alex just being Alex to me, and I love it so much. I think he looks so great. He looks nude right there, but that's okay. Who doesn't?
Let me just go.
Alex, he's here. He's so cute.
All right. So, close up. There we go.
Okay. Hi, Alex.
Yeah. Don't TV channels have like standards? People who are there and filming, being like, no, you can't say that. You can't do that.
Yeah, that's why they didn't. That's why he's not in a Speedo. He's in a.
There we go. Let's look at those studs. Look at those right there. Look at them.
As they were yelling, more balls, more balls, more balls. Like,
right.
Right.
There were a lot of comments made during that did not make it to air. Focus on the bag. I mean, Jamie did focus on the bag. He said you blend right into the sand.
Yes, that was funny.
All right. So let's talk about this.
Can you do a better picture? Isn't there one with Kelly?
They're all in there. I've got 3 shots of each contestant. So.
Okay, and I just talk about this before. Actually, you guys just give it. No, I'm going to give it to you first.
Okay, so I'm going to say I'm going to say that
I'm going to say first, Matt. I'm going to say first.
Oh, okay.
Because I need to just tell you what amazing thing I had going, and then I could not execute it all the way. On the sides, I wanted them to fold in. This was called the tote. So I wanted them to fold in as if you were like had a tote bag, right? So this was a high-end tote, and I used airplane wings like sideways on the. I'm going to show you. I'm going to get it up. I need to defend myself on this for a second.
All right. So while she's pulling this up, I do want to say that the fact that they went asymmetrical design and feeling, the alternating rotations for the grill plates and the curves, top notch. Color selection, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sure about the top though, because they didn't give us enough to see it, so I'm not 100% sure. And then again, the corners is my only ding. Is if we had more on the corners, that's the only area that I have a real concern with. And again, as I said, you've got the token on there. Not just adding initials in for the brand, but making it I'm sorry, not a token, a charm. That's it. It's a bag charm. And that for me was okay. It made me resonate with my wife's bags because they always have a charm. And so that's what did it for me.
Okay.
Right.
Before
go ahead.
Before you say anything defensive, this was my favorite one. So
Matt, huge heart eyes.
When you showed the panel, when we saw the panel early in the episode, I was like, I love it. I love the texture. I like the color choices. I like the asymmetrical design. So, for me, you don't have to be defensive. Like I like this. I would have picked this as my winner personally. So.
You're very sweet.
Sand green, just saying.
And I do have a thing for sand green. It's true.
I will agree. When you guys flipped that Technic panel over and I saw this, I'm like, whoa, that's really neat.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say I will say this is knowing the challenges and what you had to do. The fact that they zoomed in and showed this little corner right here and you got to complain about it. I was like, boo, that is just not fair. Not fair at all. And now even more so that it has to open.
So this, like, if you can see in here, these are airplane pieces on the side. See those airplane? Yep. Like the wings of the airplane. The tail fin, is that the right word?
Wedges.
So it was tail fins attached. Oh, you got to take me off big screen. I can't focus when I can't see everyone else. So it had like the wings doing this. And then what happened was I couldn't, at that point, we had 2 sides ready to put together with like 30 minutes left. And we could not figure out how to get those 2 sides together. With 30 minutes remaining, I had to pull the entire panel off and put those hinges on to just have our bag be together, which was so stupid on our part. Kelly had these beautiful braids that were supposed to go down the side, but because of what we had to do right there at the end, she couldn't add those beautiful braids to cover up what was supposed to cover up to be there. And then the strap was also supposed to have a second strap coming over the other side to hinge on both. And the time just got away from us in time to finish the way we want. I'm actually in process of doing a new bag the way I would have wanted it. But look at her.
Yeah.
And look at the bag there. It looks so amazing.
It does. It really does.
It looks
the way the light hits the curves on the panels, it just accentuates the fact that it's not a flat surface. It looks great.
Oh, you meant the Lego? No, I'm just joking.
Yeah. I mean, Kelly looks amazing. I was a hairstylist by trade for 10 years, so I was able to just like spruce up her hair. No one else got their hair spruced up, and so I thought that was fun. You can't tell that's Lego until you really get in there.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So you guys are having a time crunch at the end. Were you surprised they didn't like film y'all freaking out there at the end?
100%, because I was saying lots of bad things, and so I'm really surprised. And I was literally like, because those airplane wings were on, like if this was the airplane wing, I was like just ripping them off like a crazy lunatic. I'm shocked they wouldn't show me being like that, but maybe they were like, we want America to love her, not think she's like loony. So I don't know why they did me the service of not showing that. Yes, Kelly is a goddess. Like, show her face for Zoom. Do you have her face again? Because she looks amazing. We're not talking about the build anymore.
Yeah, no, there you go. There she is.
Oh,
great shot.
So great. So anyway, very happy overall with the bag, which we had a little more time to execute it the way we wanted. But
all right,
there were obviously problems as well. So
Boone had to step away for half a second. He'll be right back. So anyway, this is fantastic. You guys were. I think you killed this thing. Honestly, I'm not just saying it because you're on the show. I was really impressed at this build. I thought the judgments were unfair. It's kind of interesting that you had that time crunch. They didn't film that part because that would have been some of the drama on the show. But this is fantastic. You guys did an amazing job. All right.
Thank you.
So it's awesome. All right, next. All right, here we go. Sam and Nina.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Matthew, you want to go first this time?
Well, I already said I love the use of the flexible nature, and that's my favorite thing about it. And this is purely personal. I hate the colors.
And you know what? I'm going to speak on behalf of Meredith, who isn't here, and this would be her bag. This would be her bag.
Well, the thing is, like, I like Friends colors. I do not think the lime green looks good next to the light azure. Like, I just don't think they look good next to each other. And
I think there are several Friends designers who would completely disagree with you.
Okay.
Well, I said,
tell me where Scooby-Doo hurt you. Tell me.
Yes.
Anyway.
Show us on the mini doll where Scooby-Doo.
My comment about color is very subjective. So I love the color in the leaf bag, and I loved Emilee's color choices. I did not like these color choices. So I love the flexible nature of it. And as a bag, it's probably the closest to something that's fabric-like of anybody's build. So technically, this is, like, in my opinion, probably the number one. But for me personally, I mark it down because I don't care for the color choices. So,
and that's your person. I mean, that's where the subjectiveness of the show comes along. So,
absolutely.
I got to go with Matthew. It looks like an Easter basket.
I'm gonna pull a Sam on Sam. When they were building this, I'm like, Kelly, that looks like an Easter basket. I was worried that they were going too on the nose with it. Ultimately, the bag is really great. Look, I'm going to just be Sam to himself because I picked apart my bad parts of my build. And if the strap would have been all white, I think aesthetically that would have been much more pleasing to just have a stark white strap. it looks like something either like for me, color-wise, the bag is flawless. Color-wise, it looks like something a 6-year-old would take to church or a 95-year-old on Easter Sunday. Like,
and you know what? I'm going to chime in on the color thing a bit more, because while I'm defending it as a Friends-esque Easter color, it looks like somebody had Fruit Loops and got sick. But
Is that a
But
compliment?
you like it.
but at the same time, I can respect the color choice, even though I don't like it, because I think the colors work well together, a la Scooby-Doo, Mr. Machine. The colors together aren't the problem. It's just that maybe I don't like the particular colors. I think the colors work. I think Emilee's 7-year-old girl or 7-year-old woman is an excellent example. But you know what? 7-year-old girls and 7-year-old women like this type of color scheme, and so it would still be high fashion. So I still think they were on the nose for everything.
Dana, 7-year-old girls and 70-year-old ladies is not what high fashion. You would not see this in Milan.
Well, again, I have to disagree that you wouldn't see it.
For the record, though, as I recall, I believe Amy was a Friends line designer, was she not?
She was.
So this would really appeal to her sense of style as well, right?
Oh,
I think she would her sense of style as a Friends designer, but as a high fashion walking the runway in Milan, no.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I'm only doing this because Sam did the same thing to me.
You should not say of mom though. It's not nice.
No, I love Nina. She is a boss.
Emilee she's like, when I was talking to her today about pre-show or saying me on the show, she goes, "Are you okay? I'm too nice." Did you just drop that? You're like, "I'm gonna kill somebody on her show."
I just dropped it right now. I'm not being nice.
Now I will say, Nina also looks fantastic in her photo.
Fantastic.
She looks like she's having a good time. It goes. I will say the bag goes better with her clothing choice than it would look on primary color. So I think especially her pants work with the bag. So, but I'm just, it's a matter of personal taste. I'm not a fan of the colors, but
the styling was great.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say for shaping, that bag is super cool.
Unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
I mean, amazing.
If they would have done this bag, exact shape, exact stuff in a more chic, high fashion color, it would have been up there with Christopher and I think.
But I agree with you on the strap. I was not a fan of the strap.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
I was not a fan of the strap.
That is a legit flower. Like it has a stem.
Which is cool. That's why I made sure to show this shot, because I thought the flower editions were cool. But the strap killed me. If they had changed that strap, I liked your concept of if it was all white. It's in just all one color, no matter what. If they had just done that, it would have been a little different.
Yeah, if the strap would have been all white, I think. But, then again, you guys, the way Sam and his mom did this and the way they've built, like, they have been pens almost every episode. So, like, not nailing the color is just okay. It's going to be fine.
Speaking of color, or the lack thereof.
The one thing
this is where I'm going to be mean. This is the second place bag of the day. It is an impressive build for the time it's built, but to me, from every episode of Lego Masters I've seen, Amy has said, "I don't like a big hunk of gray," and this is a big hunk of gray. What do you guys think?
I agree. And again, we're speaking, constructive here. We're speaking constructive here. I love the zipper, and that was a big thing on there. But again, the color didn't do it for me, and and while it's got angles, it's still very boxy. And we already saw that being very boxy was already a dig on a different build.
Compare that curve.
Yeah,
boxy.
I mean, they used some great part usage. I will give them that, hands down, some great part usage. But I would not have made this in the top two. I just wouldn't.
No.
I mean, the zipper, let's just go ahead and call it amazing. That is an incredibly innovative build for the time.
I also think if they would have put, like Amy said, some kind of logo or something on that tag. Imagine if that tag would have been like a pop of yellow, like bright yellow or something. But then winter, it's just a dog peed in the snow, so maybe that wouldn't have been effective.
Yeah, so, if you've spent any time in Colorado and on the ski slopes, it doesn't have to be. And granted, they were referencing them being in the Midwest, and I've skied in the Midwest, and it is very drab and uncolorful there. But if you think about winter and skiing, it doesn't have to be drab. So
I'm not gonna lie, I would buy this bag for $700 tomorrow. I think it is amazing. I would put my chickens in it so hard, I cannot even tell you. I love it. I love it so much. I would buy this bag, and it actually had more shaping than this picture is doing it justice. I think if that tag had some sort of pop of yellow with a really cool logo on it, it would have just taken it creme de la creme. I love it. I would buy it tomorrow.
When I saw the bag, I thought it was almost an Adidas bag.
Yeah.
With those two stripes on the side. I was like, hey, it's Adidas. That's the logo.
Well, and for some reason, the two straps are not the same size, and that bothers me too. I don't know.
I think that's just the angle. I think that's just the angle.
I think it's the angle.
I want to talk about the straps. So it seems to me that the straps are like left to right, but they should be like the other orientation. So they should arc across the side of the bag, not from one side of the bag to the other. Because if you look at her holding it in the photo, look how awkwardly she has to thread her arm through it. That's not a very natural position to hold a bag.
But high fashion isn't natural, right? Like it's about being a little uncomfy and being like, oh, her arm might break in that thing. It kind of looks like she's getting her blood pressure read, like she's going through a blood pressure cuff. So I think that is where like the innovation. You've never seen a bag like this, and they just crushed it because they went so high fashion that you don't know what your blood pressure is, or if your arm's gonna break, or if you're just gonna look like a 10. It's sky's the limit for them.
But yeah, for me, it was not a top two. It was not a top two. The gray was uninspiring, and I wish they had used more different types of texture. It looks like the bag is almost entirely bricks. If they'd worked in some rows of plates, it would have given even the gray. It would have had a little bit more of a texture feel to it. It just feels like a wall of gray brick. Too much.
Which one would you have put in the top otherwise?
I would have put yours.
Yeah. Oh no, ours was a dumpster fire on the side.
Well, you asked what I would put in the top. That was my favorite one. So you would have been in there with the maple leaf bag.
Well, then I wish you were the judge. Then.
Me too.
I don't think in our shots. I never figured out what the edge over here was. Was it like a snowflake or?
It was a snowflake. It was actually super cool. It wasn't. So they did have texture. It just was on the side. Guys, I'm going to defend this bag till the cows come home. I think it is so great. It had, I don't know, it's huge. I think if they would have done too much texture, it would have lost its sleekness, and it just would have looked tacky and cheap. This looks expensive. This looks like something you would see Madonna going skiing in her chateau in Switzerland. Like, I love it. I really do.
Emilee, you should.
I'm gonna say the shot looks lovely. They did a great job with.
Like that actually could be on the cover of a magazine. Like, she looks chic AF. Okay.
And Emilee, I would have expected you to say you would defend this bag until the chickens laid some eggs or something.
Yes. Yeah.
Versus the cows coming home.
The hens
I would love to have a whole farm if I didn't live on a tiny lot.
I'm really disappointed that they didn't get like a small puppy to open the bag up and get the puppy out. That would have been fantastic.
Would have been cool, actually.
Like a real puppy.
More animals. That's fun.
All right. So, do you agree the top one won this week? Do we agree with that? I do.
100%.
Yeah,
I agree. I think there is disagreement of what top two was. I honestly, in Armchair, I'm not on the show, but when the top two were announced, I was like, okay, that one and what? I kind of for a minute because I thought you guys deserve to be top 2. Thought Sam and them deserved to be top 2. There were and this is where we're getting in the competition. It's coming down to very small details that send you home and everything, unless you unfortunately have a pivot. And I think the bottom 2 was Melanie and Allison, and what was the other bottom one?
Lewis and Alex.
Lewis and Alex, yeah.
Lewis and Alex, yeah, because they had construction problems. They had stuff popping. To say they had stuff popping out all over is a joke that I didn't really want to make. But
don't be so hard on them, Chris. Come on.
I think this brings up an interesting point. Maybe Emilee, you could speak to this. I know that there are, because you're defending this bag. Like, I feel like you and some of the other people on this panel are at like opposite ends of the spectrum on this bag, and I'm curious because I feel like I've observed it happening here and there over the years, where the judging goes differently than what people at home, from what a lot of people at home would expect. Now, you were on the show and you saw this bag in person. Do you, in your experience, think that there's a discussion at least to be had around the way things look in person versus the way things come across on camera?
100%. I mean, our bag looks really flawless in that picture with the flowers up with Kelly. It doesn't look like it has construction problems, but it really did. That, like, the inside was exposed in ways that was not appealing. But I will say the colors on Sam and Nina's, I think if you mesh our colors to Sam and Nina's bag, then you have a top 2 build. I just don't feel like their colors did enough service for them to be high Milan Fashion Week fashion, like where people are paying $2,500 for a bag. And I feel like the top 2 bags did that. People would pay big money. So look at it like that versus like who made the best bag out of Lego? Who made the best high fashion bag out of Lego? Maybe that will change your opinion, guys? No?
They can go either way. I mean, it's all subjective in that aspect because, again, as we talked about whether color would take you one direction or another, is it supposed to be, do I want to believe that it's a bag versus being Lego? Or do I want the colors to be what I expect the colors to be? Because I've seen some scary freaking runway shows where you look at it and it's like, what Henson nightmare did this fashion show come out of? And, the colors can be all sorts of wild and crazy things. So color is subjective, as Matthew pointed out. So it can go, it all comes down to, art is in the eye of the beholder and how it wants to go. So.
And fashion is subjective.
Exactly.
I mean, like
art is fashion is art. Art is fashion.
You can wear a giant swan suit and sing on stage, and some people think it's amazing, and other people are like chuckling and saying, "Bjork, what were you thinking?" But it's somewhat subjective, and so I don't necessarily feel. I don't feel like we have to all agree. I mean, this isn't a question of like technical expertise. It's both technique and it's a subject of taste, and it's okay that we don't necessarily.
I just want you all to agree with me.
Yeah, because we all know high fashion.
We don't always have to agree, but Emilee is here, so we have to agree.
Emilee, I have a question for you specifically.
Yes, sir.
Your team featured a color, the same color in your clothing all the time. Did you not consider that color for your bag?
It was on our bag. The pink strap came across the top.
Over the top.
I mean, as a primary color.
No, it would have been too loud for what we were going for. If you look at like 2024 bags coming out, they are like a huge pop clasp or like a big pop of color or color blocking like Lewis and Alex did. So no, we were never going to do a pink bag ever.
Okay. I'm just curious because obviously that was your team color, but I thought maybe your team color would show up. So before we got to see what you were actually working on, I was like, I wonder if they're going to go with pink, but you didn't. So
yeah, no, we did add that big pink strap at the end. But that really had, even if we were wearing black every episode, we still probably would have gone with the pink because the sand green and pink look just gorgeous.
All right. So this is it's hard to then as we come back to the end, what were the criteria or the what were they judging you on? I mean, it was a mix of the construction, which Lewis and Alex had an issue with there, and also issue of the for us was the color choices, which we expected more out of the second place model, but we're not that subjective judge. So there's a whole lot to juggle here, which sometimes makes Lego Masters difficult as us as fans to really understand. And so we can armchair quarterback it and really know what's going on. I guess last week's was one of those where it's like pure technical skill. Let's go. Let's see what you can build. And it was pretty clean cut what was going on. This one has that EFI factor. It would have been nice to know for me that there was 2 or 3 functions that had to happen. I'm surprised somebody didn't try to throw power functions in one of these bags, because I'm like, come on, a spinning flower, that would have been high fashion to me, right? That would have been
avant-garde, innovative. I agree. I think a spinning flower, no, but like a cat that's eyes like roll, yeah, innovation. Zoom, think high class, Nordstrom, not Walmart. You gotta be like a little more.
I mean, what if you had set the bag down and it opens itself and then closes itself back? That would have been cool.
Now, remember, this was an 8-hour challenge. I'm not sure if you know what that means. That really,
I'm kidding.
Once you have Will come to your table for 45 minutes, shooting the breeze with you, and then he never says goodbye at our table. It's always, well, and then he just throws something and walks away. I'm like, cool, bud.
We didn't do the review of Will in this episode. He was funny in the photo shoots. I thought that was great. It wasn't too, there was maybe 1 or 2, Will jokes at the front, but I thought the show and that part, it focused on the builders a lot. Will you guys agree, or what did you guys think?
Oh yeah, but I will say that I was happy to see that we are getting more Jamie bits.
I agree.
So I'm here for more Jamie and Amy bits, and we're getting more of those, so it's good.
See, I think oftentimes we watch it as AFOLs and we watch it back and we're like, oh, show more. But like my nephew was watching this and he was crying, laughing when Will told Jamie to turn in his brick. Like he just thought that was hilarious. And that's what the show is for. The show is for that. Those kids that think that is so funny, they rewatch it over and over and over, right?
True. It's true.
Gotcha.
It works.
Right. So what was I'm having, my brain just went blank. What is the next challenge? Do you guys is it the remote control cars?
Yeah.
Christopher!
I am so looking forward to that episode just because of Emilee. Just in the trailer, Emilee screaming his name, and the fact that the off-camera shots of people discussing it are also talking about Emilee screaming Christopher.
Yes. So as you see, they crashed 2 vehicles together, a land vehicle and a water. I'm not spoiling anything because it's exactly what was on the preview. They crash them together, and then those are the pieces you have to build your car. And then you race it around the track. I made Kelly drive the boat. I made Kelly do the modeling, and I was like, you can drive the car. And she's like, absolutely not. I'm not doing all 3 of the things. So, and I'm already naturally loud, but then when I'm getting worked up, it's just louder and higher pitched as it goes and goes and goes. So, yes, all I say basically that whole episode is Christopher in a high scream.
I'm all there for it. I'm excited.
I love it. I'm hoping we have, because my favorite moment of Lego Masters is the team that just got in and drove their car straight off the table. There's no, that was the best moment ever, and those guys are never going to live that down. So I can't wait to see what antics happen with this next show. So
the track was unbelievably cool. It was really, really well built. So
what's up, Reed? How are you? All right. Any last comments or anything you want to mention about the show, Emilee? Any other little stories you want to tell us on the show that you're allowed to? So
I don't have any more. I think I talked more than any of you combined, so I'm sorry about that. But you invited me, so like you knew what you were getting into.
Well, no, that's perfect because last Monday's episode I did all the talking, so I'm glad to be able to sit back and not have.
I like it, Dana.
Yeah. You can come on and talk next Monday too.
yes, you can. You're always invited. I will spam you at least twice a week. So, what was that, Emilee?
You guys are really great, and I've honestly really enjoyed watching it. I've watched a couple of feedbacks. The first one Atlanta Brick Co did, and I literally was like, I texted him after, and I said to Steven, I said, will you let me know when I can watch one of these and not feel like I want to never touch Lego again? And he was like, yes, ma'am. Because our boat got eaten to shreds in that first one, which was fine. It was the hardest thing we've ever done. Having two builders who build differently, who have never built together, who are very different human beings, to then try to come together, it's hard. And then me and Kelly just slowly excel. You know,
I want to take this moment to point out that I have been noticing the evolution of you as a team
100%
through the episode. I mean, let me get this graphic through the episode as we're going up, because it's like you can tell from the get-go that you guys are good builders, and everybody who's on the show, when they come on, you can tell they're good builders. It's a challenge. They are throwing things at everybody, and and we are armchair quarterbacking it, so we totally understand that, and we can see the challenges when the team is working, when they're not working, and when they hiccup. And you and Kelly have been slowly picking up steam every episode. So I am excited to see where this goes, because I'm seeing what I want to see happen with your team, and I'm looking forward to some great stuff in the last half of the season. So
thank you.
We will talk more when you get.
Yeah.
And when the show ends, we will talk more. But I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited.
After our first build, I turned to Kelly. We had some tension. I mean, as I think a lot of builders do. And we sat down later, and I said, I would rather leave today as friends than keep doing this if we cannot. And so we had like a come to Jesus together, and we wrote 5 ways that we need support and help each other. And ever since then, that's why you see us going upwards, is because we learned how each other needs support.
Which is funny, because if you think about Mark and Steven, and even Boone and Mark, I mean, Boone and Mark were friends before they came on the show and had seen each other's work. And Mark and Steven have been building together since they crawled out of the womb. And it's a different dynamic when you are thrust together with somebody whom you may be social with or know casually, to now sit down and building. I actually think that Lego Masters is doing an injustice by making it be husbands and wives, brothers and sisters. It should be 2 random individuals that, you get brought on the show as an individual. And
there would be fists.
And then you draw numbers. And then you draw numbers.
WWE. It would not be Lego Masters. Fists would be thrown. You thought I said a lot of swear words.
Would not be Fox?
But have you watched reality TV? They want conflict.
They have to move it to MTV instead of Fox.
Project Runway would do team challenges every season just to see people fight over what design and
right. Yeah, I think the harder challenge is what Kelly and Emilee are going through, of people who know each other but have not had the chance to deep dive.
Yep.
And then I think that's actually much more entertaining, is bring on 20 contestants, make them draw numbers out of a hat, and there is your partner for the season.
And there's one random you don't know who doesn't even know what a Lego is.
Oh my gosh, they're like the black brick. You have like the golden brick, and then there's just the one person that's the black brick.
And you got to find out who the black brick is. And
that's the whole preface of the show. It's not even about the builds. It's about who's the black brick. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Who's the mega block builder?
Exactly.
I'm literally starting to get sweaty thinking about that.
So when I was building on that thing I'm not supposed to talk about with my partner, and we were talking about what do we want to do, and we were very collaborative, and I think we communicated very well. But there was a point where I showed her what the portion I was working on, and I was specifically looking for feedback, and she was like, "Oh, it looks fine." And I said, "No, I really want you to look at it and tell me if I'm doing it wrong. Like, don't be nice. Like, give me the honest assessment. Like, that's all messed up. Like, I don't need your nice feedback. I need
You
your
need Mark and Chris feedback is what you're talking about.
if this is a shit show, you need to tell me now.
Yeah, you need the floppy rover comment. That's a floppy rover, Matthew. Don't do that.
Ah, you said it. I gotta go find it. Hang on. There it is. Floppy rover.
I was preempting the floppy rover. Let's just point that out.
But then, you know, there's that other line. You don't want to be at the other, like, do you even know how to Lego? Like, finding that balance between constructive criticism and excessive criticism or not enough criticism. Yeah. That's actually part of the challenge to have these two people involved. And I agree. I think that's an interesting part of the story that we almost never see.
Yeah.
Well, me and Kelly came as friends and we left as better friends. So ultimately, I call that a success. So. Yeah. And I'm a lot to handle, and she handled me very well.
All right. So thank y'all for being here tonight. Thank you for joining Emilee. Thank you for joining us, Boone. Thank you for whatever hours you're in right now and all those kind of things. Thank you for hanging out with us. And Boone, we are excited that your career in billing. We're waiting for here. I'm waiting for that video that's like Boone's got a set. We can't wait. For that to actually happen. So we're glad you're
and here. It's Duplo.
Thank you.
No.
Not Duplo.
No, fair enough. Quick prediction.
You missed the moment there. You could have said, I'm not supposed to say.
No, I can say it's not Duplo. I'm not supposed to say. And I can say it's not Duplo.
Quick prediction. No one's going home next week.
That's true. Yeah, that's right. Because we've got, unfortunately, Poppy and went home, and I hate that they were also like, man, these guys are good, and I hate that what happened. So yeah, so maybe no one goes home because we've got how many episodes we got left? 3? Is that right?
More than that. Possibly 4? Up to 12. So we just had episode 7.
Yeah.
So possibly 5 more, and there's 5 teams.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that'll work now.
You're welcome, but
you'll have to wait and see.
We gotta wait and see. All right.
Big wink.
Good night, everybody. We will be back on Thursday talking about some random Lego thing. So join us then. I know the expectation is high. Have a great evening, everybody. Thank you, Emilee. Thank you, Boone, for hanging out with us.